Welcome back, gentlemen and gentlewomen, to the second greatest story ever told, the rise of Armenia. In Chapter 1, we defeated the forces of the rebel scum and took possession of the city of Kotes, the historical capital of the kingdom of the Colchis, and the final destination of Jason and the Argonauts. I won't lie, Artaxias, our faction leader, made some mistakes, but in the end we are triumphant, and now we need to deal with a Colchian army in the field before we can declare our victory to be complete.
Orders! Orders! My liege!
Mighty General!
My liege!
Perhaps if I come in from this angle, I'm going to be in a better position to take him on.
Mighty General!
Before we start, let's take a look at the mercenary forces that are in the area.
Mighty General!
Alright, nothing too spectacular, so we're gonna go with what we got. We should be fine.
Mighty General! Attack!
Well, the computer seems to think that the strength of the two armies are pretty equal, but I think we have more missile troops than he does, and that's going to be to our advantage.
Even now, fear works its magic into our foes. Their bowels weaken and turn to water, and their hearts quake within their chests. We go now to our bloody business!
A short but an inspiring speech. And from the looks of it, our position isn't as good as it could have been. Oh well, let's go ahead and see what we can do about that. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and cut out a lot of the repositioning of the troops. I think the best bet is to tuck ourselves up on this hill on the corner here. This is not to keep us from being outflanked, because I am on the offensive. But I do want to get my missile troops the advantage of the high ground, and this is going to be the best position from which to do that. Well, that's certainly unexpected. They're not even going to try to contest the high ground. They're going to cede it to us. And that's not going to work out well for them, I don't think, because other than the hoplites, they don't have a lot of armor, and we have a lot of missile troops with a lot of ammunition. And other than their Rhodian slingers with that long range, we're going to be in the driver's seat for this battle. I'm going to go ahead and cut out a bunch of the pauses. I think I spend far too much time in the pause menu than I do actually fighting the battle, and that's not going to be that fun.
Move out!
I think they're going to try to respond to our attempt and try to prevent us from what they think is going to be an outflanking attempt and just reposition their troops that way, but we're going to be within missile range shortly, and we're going to use as much of those that we can to weaken their troops before I begin to attack. In fact, I'm probably even a little bit closer than I should be with some of my cavalry, given the fact that they do have Rhodian slingers, which eventually we'll get. There we go. Well, nope. Nope. There we go. We'll keep moving forward, and we'll see. They're going to completely, it looks like, completely continue to fall back while we press forward. And now they're, okay, so here they are. They're forming up into some kind of line. But very shortly we're going to be within missile range, and it's just not going to work out for them. I think they're pressing forward probably with... Alright, so there's the Artan. Oh, the Cretan archers are pretty good. I forgot about that unit. They've got good range. Eventually we will be able to get some of those of our own, but for now we're just going to go with what we got. It's going to take a little bit before we get the ability to... There we go. We're already beginning to fire on them. And okay, there come the Rhodian slingers. And people are already taking damage. In fact, I think we'll go ahead and try to whittle those guys down and minimize the amount of damage we take from any kind of missile fire. And now we're going to get a chance to shoot them in the back. So far, so good. They haven't yet got into range. Our troops are still... I should start running the troops. I don't know why I'm not doing that, but we'll get there slowly but surely. And eventually we'll get our not our hoplites, but our cataphracts into range, and if they go ahead and press forward with the Rhodian slingers, we'll be able to take them out. Or, even though they are hoplites, we should be able to hit them on the flanks, and or in back, and that'll do pretty good. Bring our generals up, get them ready. Still not taking any sort of missile fire, so you can tell that having the high ground is something that they should have thought about, but oh well. By the time they learn, we'll go ahead and start moving forward a little bit. And all of our troops, with the exception of all of our missile troops, with the exception of the javelins, are beginning to fire. There we go. We'll go ahead and press forward. We'll go ahead. We'll see what we're going to do now. We're going to go ahead and fire with the cataphracts. If they charge, we should be in a good enough position to withdraw, but we've got missile capability with the cataphracts and the general outfit, so why not go ahead and use up our missile weapons? It's a freebie at this point in time. I'm jumping around. I've cut out all the pause menus on this battle because they're really not that exciting. And we're doing nothing but taking damage onto them. There we go. Let's run. Let's hit them. I have plenty of ammunition left. The archers aren't getting up to anything, really. As long as the slingers aren't getting into combat, and I'll see if I can't go ahead and get them from the side, which a flanking shot should do us some good, but that's really not the flank. That wasn't as good as it could have been, but already one unit's breaking. We're not going to get too close with the generals. Well, we're actually close, and I think we've broken another unit. So there we go. We'll go ahead and get the cataphracts out. Let's get them running. It's already turning out poorly for them. 3 units have already collapsed. I've got the generals chasing another unit away, and when they get into range, they'll be able to take that out. And it's all gone south for them. So we're going to do nothing but ride them down with the cataphracts and continue to shoot what's left of the survivors with our missile troops. We've taken some damage that we shouldn't have taken because of my faulty charge, or I should say the general's faulty charge. But other than that, we're doing okay. I will go ahead and pause for a little bit.
Kill them! Horse archers!
I mean, the battle's almost over, so...
Attack! Horse archers! March! Cataphracts!
They're routing. Everything we got left are the... Yeah, it looks like the javelin troops, really. And we'll go ahead and just keep shooting them. At this point in time, other than our cataphracts, which have taken more damage than I would have liked, but still, we're getting experience. They're not down. They're only down by 10. We'll push on down the hill. And just eventually win this battle. There's nothing they're going to be able to do. They won't be able to come back. I don't think I've killed the general yet. Their general.
Units! Units! Move up! Move up! Port Archer! Quickly!
Yeah, the cataphracts are engaging.
Attack!
And we'll go ahead and take care of their missile troops. Wipe them out completely. Oh! It looks like one of their units has managed to... the Rhodian Slingers decided that they want to come back in, and that's not going to go well for them because we're just going to ride them down.
Missiles! Attack!
Oh, and another unit. What do we got? Oh, the Hoplites have decided that they want to play. We'll go ahead and get out of there. They won't be able to catch up with us, I don't think, especially when we start actually galloping away, and they're going to do nothing but take missile damage. In fact, we can go ahead and use our cavalry to take on their missile troops down there. Our troops, even though they're horse archers, they do have not too bad of a melee attack, especially against unarmored troops. I don't quite know what it is they're doing. There we go.
Enemy flee! Chase them from the field and give them
No point in letting any of them survive if we can, so we'll just go ahead and run down the rest of the survivors, or shoot down the rest of the survivors. Again, I do not believe we've taken out their general, but I could be wrong. I could have missed that.
Units! 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 Move out! Forward!
Oh, no, there he is. So, one of the last ones to die. He's gone.
Units!
I'm chasing the rest off the field. There's one poor Rhodian Slinger left. Running in the wrong... Oh, and there he goes. And I think our cataphracts are... We'll go ahead and we'll take care of the last of the missile troops. It should be a little bit of an experience for us, so... Very shortly we'll end this battle.
Victory
It'll be a
is
victory,
sweet indeed,
and quite frankly,
and all the sweeter for being so
took a
decisive.
little bit of damage, but not a whole lot, and we'll be able to repair that eventually. We'll swing on back to our home base, and there you go. It looks like they only killed 4 people. So, all in all, we'll call that a victory, and we'll take it. I am glad that you agree with me, General. All right, let's go ahead now and end this turn and see what happens. It looks like we've got a new family member, Zipoetes, who's ready to take command of our forces. Let's see how helpful that is. We've got our ever-growing horse archer army started. And we're going to have to make some decisions. There he is.
Sire?
There's the spy that opened the gate, who's doing quite well. There's our new diplomat. We're going to figure out what to do with him shortly. And now we're going to have to come to decisions. Here's where the Paphlagonian rebels are hanging out. I can see that Pontus has yet to take this city, so we might want to go ahead and rush down there and get it before they do. One turn for our marketplace to come in. I really need to get the Armenian auxiliary building built, but we've got to focus on our economy because our armies are going to become just exceedingly expensive as time goes by. I've got to admit, I am mightily impressed with people like John at Many a True Nerd, who are seemingly able to keep up a entertaining pattern of what's going on throughout the game, but I have to admit, as you can probably tell, I struggle between the downtimes. I can point out the major things, like the fact that we're going to need to move this diplomat around the city of Pharnacia, held by the Pontics, so that we can go ahead, meet some other civilizations, and get some more trade routes started. But in between things like that, I have to admit I just struggle to come up with something to say. And it just, it's rather embarrassing. Hopefully, as things go further along with this video series, I'll get better at that, but until such time, I hope you can put up with that. Just below
Yes,
this
my
large
liege.
Pontic town
Moves
is
depleted,
one of the
sir.
Seleucid cities. They are a massive empire at the start of the game, and they have many of the places that we need to control for total victory. At some point in time, we're going to have to take them on, but I want to delay that as much as possible and see what we can do to keep both them and the Kingdom of Pontus on our side. They haven't taken Trapezus yet, so that is something that we're going to look at quite seriously and maybe put off moving towards the east as much as possible. Our army is already beginning to cost a lot of money, and as we can see, the retraining cost alone for these horses is 426 denarii. It's a very expensive army, and we right now are dealing with mostly the bottom of the barrel troops. That's one of the reasons why I'm trying to fix up our economy as much as possible. I'm going to go ahead and recruit our best unit, infantry unit, which is the Armenian equivalent of the Roman legionary. But as you can see, that's 552 denarii, and I do believe it's 250 denarii upkeep a turn, which means for 4 of them, which really isn't that much, it's 1,000 denarii a turn, so it rapidly becomes quite difficult to
Orders!
build up such a formidable army as you need if you're going to take on some of these people like the Seleucids. And this guy's not too bad. An occasional drinker could get out of hand, but for now he's got good management and good influence. It's now time to send our spy eastward to see what we can see.
Unseen, unheard, out of moves, sire.
And look at what we found, another rebel city. And this one's named Albania. Now I know what you're thinking, this is nowhere near where Albania is supposed to be, and you would be right, somewhat. This actually refers to the territory of Caucasian Albania, parts of which are going to become Azerbaijan in about 2100 years. Actually, according to the city's placement on the map, this is not Albania at all, but the Kingdom of the Mazkut, and this would maybe make this the city of Chog, or the Gate of the Huns. In any event, we'll be back for that one later, unless the Seleucids beat us to it. Now we need to do a little city management before we move on to bigger things. Specifically, we need to see about grabbing Trapezus before our Pontic allies get around to doing it. They've got some good defensive troops, but not too many of them, and they are woefully deficient in missile troops, which is going to cost them. And what's also in our favor is they don't have anything but wooden walls, and that's going to make it very easy for us to lay siege to this city and take it over. Trapezus is important for 2 reasons. 1, it's a port city, and 2, it has a silver mine that I can exploit. And this is going to turn it into an economic powerhouse. And once again, this is going to be very important if I'm going to be able to build and maintain any sort of significant force to continue my conquests. Unlike later versions in the Total War series, I am almost 100% certain that these guys are not going to build up any more forces in the city. So once I've repaired some of my damaged units, I'll be good to go and launch my attack. Okay, let's go ahead and end the turn and see what the gods have in store for us. Well, alright, already we can see that the army upkeep is almost at 3,000, and it looks like I'm making almost 6,000 a turn, so already half of our income is going towards our army upkeep, and that's only going to keep rising. So that's why I'm constantly worried about the economic situation in our towns. We've got to keep them going up. Looks like our diplomat has a foreign dignitary, that's not bad, +1 to the negotiating ability. And at 32, he should be around for a while, so he's only going to get better as we make more and more deals. We'll keep sending him around. The other one was what? +2 political influence for our faction leader, who is getting up there in age. So I think I'm going to, before he suddenly drops dead, move our herald into our faction heir's retinue. And as long as you keep moving your retinue from leader to leader before that individual dies, you can essentially turn the retinue into a group of immortal people, because they don't age at all. So we'll go ahead and take him off of the faction leader and move him into the faction heir, which is what's going to be announced to us on the screen. Our retinue expands. Of course, we already knew that.
My liege!
Let's send a spy up into Albania and see what we can see. And there's not a whole lot in that city to worry about, either in numbers or in quality of troops, and the missile troops that they do have are javelineers, and that's not going to be much of a problem for us. Famous last words. Excellent, Smithers. Well, that doesn't really concern us at all, but you can probably tell that there has been a change in the quality of my voice, and that's because during the making of this I moved and was unable to replicate my mic settings or the space in which I was originally recording this, so we're just going to have to see what we can do, and hopefully this isn't too bad.
Sire?
Alright, I think we'll continue to move the diplomat around the map. He should be paired with a spy for maximum effect. As you can see, the vision range of the diplomat isn't that good, but we're kind of stumbling around in the dark, but we'll continue to do that, see if we can't stumble into something good. The more the map we uncover, the better, because when we do run into someone that we can trade map information for map information, if I have more uncovered, I do believe I can swing a better deal in terms of getting more money out of those people. The same goes for this guy. We'll continue moving him westward and see what we can run into.
Orders!
I think it's best to gamble that the Seleucids aren't going to be moving up north too quickly and taking Albania, so instead we'll go ahead and try and snake Trapezus away from the Pontic Empire. It's going to move us closer to them, but they're our allies. I don't think it'll cause too much of a strain on our diplomatic relations, and it's far better that I get Trapezus before they do, and I think Trapezus is strategically a more important city for our empire than it is to get Albania.
March! No more.
Yeah, there's just so many things that I want and need in order to get this thing going. I really, you need walls, the auxiliary, roads would be nice to have, the silver mine. I think we'll go with the port for now. I gotta get some trading going. I'm gonna have to get ready to build ships. The problem is, well, there's no really good mercenaries around. Problem is my cities are woefully underdefended, and it's going to have an issue with population happiness because I don't have any garrisons, and if the Seleucids decide that they want to break their alliance with me, there's no way that I can hold on to any of these cities. Unlike the later Warhammers, they don't have their own garrison, it's whatever you keep in them. And I just don't have a whole lot, but the more troops I add to my garrison, the more money and upkeep I'm going to be paying, and those are essentially it's almost wasted money if no one attacks. So I just don't know. I think we're doing the right thing, and we'll just have to hope that we don't get attacked by the Seleucids. And just keep going. We'll hit Trapezus next turn, and I think we should be able to take the city in that turn. But it's going to take a while for him to build anything else. So there you have it. I think we'll go ahead and end the turn, see what happens. Wow, would you look at that? We're actually starting to make some money. Yeah, we're gonna have to see how long that lasts for. Once again, army is up over 3,000. We're making 6,000, so we're still not doing good. We'll get some growth, that's gonna be helpful. Upward and onward, I hope. Especially since I do believe that, yeah, that's our capital for now. Oh, and hey, the other one grew. All right. And someone's gonna get married, that's great. We'll see if we can't start some more children on the way. Not bad command skill. What do we got? Yeah. Not bad. Another war that means nothing for us. It looks like, what do we got? Now they got a couple of missile troops, but and they got walls. That's gonna be more of a difficulty to overcome, but the Seleucids are somewhere around here, and there's a good chance they're going to run into that place before we do. So I think we'll take him up. Oh, what do we have? What do we have? Is that? Yeah. There's the Seleucids. So let's see what we can find out. Trade rights. All right, map for map. Let's see if we can't get any money out of them. Let's see. Go big. See how they like that. Oh, that's not good. Yeah, I can't afford that, so maybe... Wow, I wasn't... Yeah. We're gonna have to ignore that for now. Let's go on and see if we can't take over Trapezus. We'll see how much of that was there going to be a mistake. All right, we'll come back to the attack on Trapezus after we send our diplomat, I think, a little more east. We should be able to run into something there. That should be the Dardanelles, and there we go. There's Byzantium. And let's see what we can find here. Always go for trade rights first. Perfect. Need that money. Now, let's go ahead and see if we can't make some money off of this. Let's again go for 1,000. Do what they say. That is not going to happen. But they're far enough away that I'm not too worried about them attacking us. I'm more worried about the Seleucids. We're just not going to pay them that. There's no way. They might do map information. They might do map information for map information, but we'll try later.